What is up, Texas hockey fans? We are back with a new episode of Clean Sheet of Ice. And yes, the Stars are back in the win column. We dominated a game. It felt great to watch a win, especially on the road, especially with the boys buzzing from start to finish in that game. We are back. Stars beat the Caps 4-1. Welcome to Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. I am your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Brother, it feels right. It feels right to be winning. I mean, we've seen so much winning this year, and I think we're going to continue to see winning, especially with the Stars being on the road. It's things are getting back to normal for Dallas Stars.
Back to normal. Yeah, 6-game losing streak. We talked about it on the last pod. How can we fix it? What's wrong with them? Yada, yada, yada. I understand. It wasn't very fun. We didn't have a lot of fun. Obviously, the Canes game went horribly wrong. We talked about that on the last pod. That was the worst of the 6 losses. You're in every other game. You gave up 4 goals, and there's shootouts, and there's overtime in there, whatever. Scored 3 goals in almost all of those games. So we were like, it's not too bad. This was the worst one. We expected them to have a little bit more of a jump. They added, Bastian back into the lineup. They took Ernie out. Ernie got hurt, I think, banged up in the Carolina game. For the Caps game, and change up the lineup. Goalie probably yelled at him. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. We're back. We got to win. We're feeling all right. We're feeling good.
Yeah. I mean, and also to get a win in the style we did, that was important. Like, had we etched out like an overtime win, or like we kind of got some greasy goals and limped into a win, it would have been different. But to finish that Carolina game, like we talked about last episode, and say like there's a few things that you do like from that game if you stayed up late enough to watch it, and those things transferred into what we saw last night, and it was playing hockey the way I know the Dallas Stars have been playing for the past 4 years now.
Yeah, I think the game started off really well. I think they kind of had a little bit of a jump. Obviously, they take that penalty pretty quick into the first period, and you're like, okay, it is what it is. Dumb penalty. Can't really do anything about it. It was Lyubushkin holding Chychrun. What did you think about that holding call? Because I don't think it was really a hold. I think that was more of a strategic move by Chychrun to make it look like a hold. I don't think Lyubushkin actually got a hold of him in any way, shape, or form. I think he just got around him and had good position on him, a lot like how Miro can wrap someone with a stick and on the boards and everything. I thought it was pretty good move by Lyubushkin, but Chychrun made it look like he sold the call, and he got it on that one.
Yeah, it was one of those, from the position where they were on the ice and where the refs were. It was one of those calls where like a receiver's running on the sideline and he knows his back is to the situation, so he can kind of play some trickery. And I think that's what happened. Like, broadcast view, you could kind of see it was very, very minimal. But when you're on the ice, like, I was like, it sucks when those happen, but from that ref's point of view, I could see why that call is called.
It looks like a hold, and then you watch it in slow-mo, and obviously in slow-mo it doesn't look like a hold, and it's fast on the ice. I understand that. So ticky-tacky, I think, sold the call, whatever. But that penalty actually helped the Stars. Radek Faksa, he's been really good on the forecheck on the PK this season. It's been really good. He just kind of, sometimes he'll get out of position trying to do this, and it is what it is. But in this one, he just puts pressure on the back of the net. The Stars are doing a great job. They've cleared the puck. They get it all the way back down there. Loose puck gets to Oscar back, I believe, and sends it back into the neutral zone to Lindell. Faksa is coming back into the neutral zone to get back onside. Lindell finds him real quick. Faksa comes right back in, shoots the puck, gets a rebound where I think it was Logan Thompson that was playing. He didn't know where the rebound went. Faksa just keeps following the puck. Follow your rebound, essentially like in basketball. Got the rebound shot, just trickled in. It was like the slowest shot of all time. The second one, I was like, please, God, go in, and it did. Shorthanded goal. We've been needing some shorthanded goals. I think that's the third this season now. Not for Radek Faksa. That's his second goal this season. I believe his first goal was a empty netter at the home opener, like game 3 of this season. So that's his second goal. It's been a long time since Radek got a goal, so it's good that he got on the score sheet in that way. Shorthanded goal, assist from S.L. Lindell. Great play. It was just a great play by Radek Fox to get the lead on the PK. I think that was a lot of fun, kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and it was super interesting, right, to see Dallas kind of press at the blue line. I'm not used to seeing them do that on the PK. I'm used to them just kind of sitting and like Essa Lindell just being a wall back there. But other teams have pressed Dallas when we're on the power play, and it's been tough to get good entries. And to see Dallas do that was fun. And that puck was just sitting. That puck was sitting there like when Colin Blackwell in one of the playoff games.
The
Just there's
Avalanche, yeah.
there's just a frozen puck, and somebody's got to get it. And that little extra hustle from Fox, it gets it there, and that crowd was stunned. Like, they were excited to be on the power play, and then to end up giving up a shorty, was like, "Oh, we had a chance to really jump on Dallas because that's what other teams been doing the past couple
Mhm.
weeks, and, we might be in trouble."
Yeah, and it's not that the Caps didn't have, like, good chances in the first period. I think a lot of them got blocked, and a lot of them were just kind of in the way. Um, Thought they had a good first period outside of the shorthanded goal from the Caps, and I thought the Stars had a great first period, one of their better ones they've had in the last 2 weeks or so. So great first period, great first goal. The thing that stood out to me was, like, how the hell did Jacob Chikrin not make Team Canada the whole game from the Caps side? That's
Yeah.
all I could notice. That's all I could see. I was like, "How did this guy not make the roster?"
Dude, he's got, like, forward skill
He's so
and
good.
back there on the blue line.
The other thing that stood out to me was, how the hell did we think Thomas Harley was not gonna make Team Canada? What a game from the kid. Had a great
Yeah.
game against the Caps.
Yes. Yeah, that looked like the Thomas Harley of, like, the first 3 games of the year.
Yeah, it just looked smooth. He was good on defense. He didn't make mistakes, and he was good on offense, aggressive on offense, kind of the Thomas Harley we saw late last season. And he's starting to find his footing this season. I don't know if it's the injury, the illness, or maybe it was the Olympic roster. We don't know. Obviously, he's dealt with all the injuries and illnesses, and now he's on Team Canada. Maybe he was pressing a little bit over the last couple of weeks because he's trying to make the roster, and then once he makes the roster, it's still like I still need to prove that I'm worthy of a top 6 spot to where I'm actually getting playing time. I don't know what it is, but I thought he had a great game. We'll move on to the second period. I'll never trade Sam Steele. I just won't do it. I know everyone wants him off the team. I won't do it. I like him on the top line. Think he's a lot of fun. Does a lot of the dirty work for the top line with Duchesne and Mikko Rantanen or Wyatt Johnson or Robo, whoever he's on the line with. He does all the dirty work for him. And this was another case of that. Thomas Harley, I think, sent it into the crease. Basically, Sam Steele gets a good tip in, and you're up 2-0 in the second period. And you're like, okay, this is Dallas Stars hockey. We just need to not collapse in the third period. Feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah, Sam sneaking into a spot and being very silent in the process, and Thomas just being as patient as you could possibly be with a puck on your stick, making a beautiful pass. I mean, it was that was the thing of magic. Like that, I don't know how you can skate with that angle and just kind of continue to parry that puck and not give it up because you could see it. Like he wanted to pass way before he did. And if he
Mm-hmm.
does, like we don't get that goal. And it was that patience that sets that entire goal up. And that's the Thomas Harley that we've been talking about. And you look at how young he is, and you look at the point total he's at now. Like this guy's box office.
Yeah, and I think that play all is set up by Matt Duchesne for the most part. He gets it into the zone. He does a little stop and turn on the right side of the ice where he loves to be able to set up people. That's where it starts. Gets it over to Harley, and then, like you said, Harley just patiently just keeps on going, creeping down towards the net a little bit, getting the defense out of whack a little bit because a lot of defensive players don't do that. Thomas Harley hasn't done that at a great rate this season, so I don't know if they were expecting it or not. But he waits until that last second, especially on the left side, left shot. He's got a very small window of when he can shoot that puck over to Sam Steele and get it to a position where he could tip it or even get it towards the net. And he shot it at the right perfect time, and Sam Steele's in the right position. He's in the crease basically, and just gets that goal. And you're up 2-0, and you're just. I felt really good at that point because I thought they had played a great game. Obviously, their power play had a lot of really good opportunities. The 2 power plays that they did get, I feel like they could have had a few more, but power play looked really good. Obviously, it didn't score. It is what it is. You can't really do anything about it. But the PK was really good. He also had, I don't know if it was the second or third period, Ilya Lyubushkin getting a little tussle there, getting a little fight. He'd been John with whoever it was for the Capitals, Duheim. Um, They've been just jawing at each other the whole game. Duheim kind of got close to Casey at one point, and Labushkin kind of checked him a little bit after the whistle. After the puck was frozen, they saw some big hits from them into the boards, and it is what it is. Ilya Labushkin had to go to the locker room. He had a not a broken nose, but he had bleeding nose from the skin on top. At one point, goes back to the locker room, comes back, and then immediately gets in a fight basically with Duheim, and it happens again. He has got to go back to the locker room. He did get kind of he got ragdolled in that. Labushkin's not a fighter, so I'm not worried about it. But I like to see just a little bit of fire that we haven't seen over the last 2 weeks in the 6-game losing streak. Didn't see any fights, didn't see any hard checks. I thought the Stars hit really well. They didn't record a lot of the hits, I think, in this game. I thought it was a very physical game against the Caps. And then obviously you get the fight with Labushkin. There's just a lot of things that we haven't seen over the last 2 weeks from the Stars. So I thought it was great to see that on the second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah, at this point into the second period, it just felt like the Stars were ready for whatever play was on the ice, whether that be defending, offense. I think in early the third period, they were in such control of the game. They had a line change in the offensive zone. Like that's how
Yeah.
in control of the pace and speed of the game, which the past 3 games, it was just guy being out of position and, Casey or Otter being on one side of the net when the puck's coming and that screen, like, they just felt in control, and I don't know what was said this morning, but whatever was said was the right thing to say, and they looked in unison. You mentioned Dutchy. Dutchy had one really good game, like,
Yeah.
chirping, the TNT broadcast, making plays out there, like, he looked calm and he looked controlled. He had a really good game last night.
Hey, Ace. Dutch here. That was so good from Dutchy. I can't wait to talk to him about it in a couple weeks. Yeah, I thought it was just an all around solid game from everyone. Rope
Yeah.
Hens had 12 shots on goal.
Oh my gosh, dude.
12 shots on goal. It's not just 12 shot attempts, 12 shots on goal. Hell of a game from Rope. I know he didn't get on the score sheet until the empty netter there. The last goal from the Stars, though, that isn't an empty netter, just a hustle play. Hustle play by fourth line grinders, basically. Sam Steele, I know he's on the top line a lot, but just the puck kind of trickles into that behind the net area, and Sam Steele goes and fights for it, sends it out, goes to Wyatt Johnson right in the slot, his power play slot, basically. Not on the power play, even strength goal from Wyatt Johnson, his 24th of the season, Sam Steele's 9th assist of the season. That came 13:31 into the third period. You're up 3-0. And at that point, I'm like, all right, let's go get the shutout. That's all I really wanted. I was like, let's go get the shutout, have a good quality win against a quality team in the Caps. They're towards the top of their division, and they're going to be a playoff team. And you didn't get that. Ovi scored. And you know what? Counts as a shutout to me because Ovi scoring is just a notch in history. I'm not going to count it against Casey. That was a shutout to me, but Ovi scored, and that's okay because we love Ovi, and I want Ovi to score as many goals as possible. I want him to get to 1,000. I don't think he's going to do it, but be sick.
Dude, that was a snipe.
It's a rocket, dude.
Like, there's not a goalie now or in past that could have stopped that shot, man. Like, that was insane. But yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned it, that Wyatt goal looked exactly like on the power play in that, like, Robo has the fastest shot, but Wyatt, when he's in front of net, like, kind of loads his shot and it's ready
Mhm.
to go, and it is lightning, and yeah, I love Sam Steele doing his thing, and that kinda capped off like, "All right, this was a great team night," and we're reaping the rewards from playing like we normally do, and that was so refreshing to see.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned that he gets the preload action basically on a shot because he does have the stick back just slightly. That's really all it is. It's just barely. And I think with Rope and Robo, they have really hard shots. Miko even has a really hard shot. Wyatt maybe is just like a marksman, so smart shooter, sharp shooter. He just doesn't miss. If he gets into the spot and he gets a clean puck on his stick, and there's no other sticks in the area interfering with his stick on the actual shot, he's going to make the shot. That's how I feel about Wyatt Johnson in the slot. It's just like he doesn't miss. He makes
Yeah.
sure that he makes the shot, either it's top shelf in between the glove and the blocker, like just little things like that. He just knows where the goalie's going to kind of react to, and he's going to pick the spot that he's not going to react to, and it just kind of goes in every single time. That's how it feels like to me with Wyatt in the slot.
Yeah, and, not for nothing, but there's a lot of guys on Team Canada's roster that could set people up, and they would love somebody to finish the way Wyatt Johnston can finish. But I digress.
We're gonna keep yelling about the Olympic rosters. We're not gonna stop. It's not. It's just gonna be a running bit for another month and change. And then whatever happens in the Olympics, we were like, well, see, if you just had Wyatt on the team, or if you just had Robo on the team.
Well, seeing the pictures of that arena, I might be happy that, he ain't playing in that place.
Yeah, we'll tidy up this game real quick before we talk about that. Stars had 36 shots on goal to the Caps 24. I thought the defense was really good. It's very clean. Weren't a lot of mistakes in the defensive zone. They were able to get out of the defensive zone when there was a little bit of trouble. Just 1 or 2 shots on goal. There wasn't like 4, 5, 6 long 1.5 minute, 2-minute shifts from the defensive zone. So I thought that was really good. Casey was incredible in net. They didn't really allow too much danger on him. Thought that was huge. Just kind of clean game all around. Offense looked decent. I thought they could even look a little bit better, but I thought they were really good. They had those cycles, like you said, where they were able to get someone off the bench and back into the offensive zone while never having to lose the puck. Thought that was huge. Thought the defense was great. Thought the goaltending was great. It was one of the best games that we've seen in a hot minute, maybe since the Kings game back in December before Christmas. So I think that was probably their last really, really, really good game. I thought this was kind of a match, but it was 3 full periods of just like playing really well, playing physical, playing hard, and being able to play a clean game like that. I thought that was huge for their confidence. Obviously, they still got 4 more games on this road trip, another back-to-back in there, and it's a good second start to this road trip. The first game we'll just throw out in the trash, and then we'll call this the first start of the road trip here.
Yeah, and an underlining thing about this game was I don't have the numbers in front of me on like minutes played, but it felt like everybody was kind of splitting time. I normally Miro, Miko, Essa are always on the ice, and then you'll see Colin Blackwell for 10, like he'll get his minutes in. Rupe's shifts for him to have 12 shots on goal last night was crazy because his shifts sometimes are 25 seconds, but they're a great 25 seconds. But it felt like when we were pushing and kind of getting anxious for another win, you were kind of seeing that first line get a lot of ice time. Last night, it felt pretty evenly split, and that's something I would like to see, considering we're on this long, long road stretch, especially playing last night.
Yeah, actually looking at the box score here, Miko played just over 20 minutes. Wyatt played almost 22 minutes. Then there was no other forwards above 18 and a half minutes. So you still had the guys like Ritzy and Bastion and back around 10 minutes. They weren't on the PK a lot either. That helps not to have to be on the PK. So they're going to be around 10 minutes if there's not a lot of PK action. And then on the defensive side, Miro played 28 minutes. So it's like a hefty load. Almost Essa almost at 27 minutes, just under. Harley at 22 minutes. So they're still kind of easing him back in. And then you get 15 from Labushkin and Lundqvist. And then Capobianco slotting back in after the pretty big rest there. Played, I think, he only played 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, pretty frisky. I thought Capo was pretty frisky on the offensive zone. Did you see that little deke action that he had entry into the O zone at one point? I thought that was a really fun move. It looked like a McDavid type of move. Like there's 3 guys around him and he got through all of them. Thought that was pretty fun. And then he just kept going. He ended up losing the puck. But I thought he was frisky. I thought he was good, fresh legs to have on that game.
Yeah, and shout out Ritzy, man.
Ritzy, our guy. Well, yeah, 2-year contract extension, very similar to what Oscar Beck did last season after he started performing pretty well in the NHL. They said, hey, we need you around. We need you on the fourth line. We need you on the PK. We just need you to come in and do your job night in and night out. And that's what he does. He got an extension, I think, last year for Oscar Beck, 2 years, $850K per season. Ritzy now gets the new minimum, $950K per season for 2 years, $1.9 million. Good for Ritzy. Gets to stay in the NHL. It's a one-way deal, so if he does get sent down, if he has more options to the AHL, he still will be getting that $950K, which is huge. I know, like last year, Liam Bichel, he was making less than half of what he was making in the NHL when he got signed down because he had sent down to Austin because he had the 2-way deal. So it's huge to get the 1-way deal, make sure that you're getting the money in the bank, but also to have that reassurance that, hey, we're not going to send you down. We need you on this team. You're going to play PK. You're going to play fourth line. And you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So good for Ritzy, fan favorite on Stars Twitter as well. So happy that he got his contract extension and happy that he's going to be on the team for the next 2 seasons at minimum.
Yeah, and he's developed so well, and he's earned it. He really has.
He's just a grinder, dude. He's gonna make sure that things happen on the ice, and he's fun off the ice, and he's just a good quality player to have on that roster. So I'm excited for Ritzy. Excited for him to keep grinding. Excited for all the celebrations where it looks like he scored in Game 7 the game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup. Like that's every time he scores a goal, except for that one against I don't remember who it was, but the goaltender left the left the net just wide open. It was against the Sharks. I think it was the Sharks a few weeks ago. Dom, the Olympic arena is a disaster. We are less than a month out from games needing to be played. I think it's February 5th when the women's first game is kicked off. That arena is nowhere near done. It doesn't look like. And the neutral zone looks like it's 12 feet long. That's it.
Like, I'm hoping that that's just like a perspective of the picture
Yeah.
and what I've seen, but like this is just like you can get away with this. Like I'm working for a soccer team right now. You can get away with this in the World Cup because it's grass and like I think in Qatar they had like shipping containers that were
Yep.
used as like the base for bleachers. This is these these are the best hockey players in the world skating on ice. This isn't like you can't just lay down a patch of grass, have a professional kind of water it, sod it, and it's ready to go. Like the fact that we got to this point and we're so close is unreal to me. And I can't, man. Like it's bad, dude. Like,
Like they put the ice down what early September or late August in AAC before the season, before
yeah.
preseason starts. Like it's 3-4 weeks in advance of when the first game is going to be played. Ice has to like be curated. Like that's not something that's just easy to put down, and be level and quality ice. So that's a problem. The rink obviously we know is smaller, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. The seats just like not being there in the second. Like this looks like what the Coyotes were playing in before they left Arizona.
Mullet Arena.
That type of arena. It's nowhere near finished. Sam Nessler did tweet out yesterday. He's like, man, I wish Milan had years in advance to know that they were hosting the Olympics for 2026 with the professional hockey players for the first time in over a decade. Like, man, I wish they knew that going into this. Like, I wish they had 7 years of advance notice that they were going to host the Olympics. And then someone's bringing up COVID, and I was just like, okay, sure, delayed it in 2020, but that they knew in 2019 they could have just started building the arena in 2019, and then you take a year or two pause in Italy because COVID over there was a little bit different through 21. 22 is wide open again. It's completely wide open. No masks, no nothing. Like you could have just done whatever. So you can ship shit in from America or anywhere else in Europe that has the steel beams and all the shit that you need to build an arena. Could have just done that. You could have outsourced, but I don't know if they did. And they're just lollygagging their way to this arena. And we're less than a month out. It's less than 30 days away from the first game being played. That arena looks awful.
Like somebody zoomed in on the ice and there was bubbles on the ice. Like somebody was like, dude, if I didn't tell you that the Olympics are going to get played here, you would think this is a beer league surf ice level. Like that's how we like what who is in charge here? Because I work in a stadium that's going to host the World Cup, and those people were at the stadium looking at everything, and I mean everything. 2 years out, like when it got announced that we were going to host it, like it just come on, dude. Like this wouldn't happen if it was basketball and the best NBA players were playing. Like you would have your stuff figured out. That's where like the disrespect is like, okay, like what are we doing here?
Kind of equate it to a pool. I was a swimmer,
Yeah.
obviously, growing up and through college, and like every Olympics was a big deal. So like the London one, the Beijing one, like that pool was ready a year in advance, and they had people swimming in it 6 months in advance of the Olympics. 6 months, like minimum, to have a pool ready, and like the chlorine and the pH levels and all that stuff's got to be fucking dialed the fuck in. Because when you get Olympic swimmers like Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte and all these other guys in there, they're not going to want to be in a shitty pool. They're not going to want to have shitty walls. They're not going to want to have shitty blocks. They're not going to want to have shitty water where it just makes your skin burn. It needs to be the right temperature, all this kind of stuff. They had it all dialed in 6 months before the Olympics started for Summer Olympics. I know Summer Olympics are bigger than winter, but like Beijing had it dialed. London had it dialed. Brazil even had it dialed. Brazil took a little bit longer. It was a little bit closer, but they had it dialed months in advance before the Olympics started. I can't. And I know Tokyo, they had their shit probably on lock 5 years in advance. They're on a different planet over there in Japan. So shout out to Japan. Maybe Japan should just host every Olympics. I think they'll have everything dialed every single time.
So if I know Gary Bettman, like I know Gary Bettman, for years he was hell bent on not letting NHL players go
Yeah.
and compete there. And this is going to be a talking point if I was him, being like, see, like this is would Bryson DeChambeau be playing on a public course? Like my Rory McIlroy, my favorite golfer, would he be playing like with potholes on the green? Like no. And unfortunately, this is the reality of like as upset as I am, I'm sure they're going to have fixed the issues, but just the fact that we're having issues and we've had all this time to not have issues is pretty upsetting.
All right. 2030 Winter Olympics, French Alps in France. Seems cool. I'm in on that. France, if you don't get this shit dialed in next year, like if the arena's not like completely finished by the end of 2028, I'm gonna be pissed. Just France, so you can fix all these the Europeans. Like you could just fix all the stipulations that we have right now in Milan if you just have this shit dialed in by the end of 2028, and you have people skating on it for 2 years. Like just make sure we do
Yeah.
that, and then you can load in the new scoreboard and the new whatever food assembly lines and all the shit that you got to do down there. Like they're saying that the food's going to be bad for the Winter Olympics. Like there's a lot of shit wrong with the Milan Olympics, which kind of sucks because Milan's a cool city. My sister loved it over there. I like Italy. Like I'm a big fan. We just got to have this shit on diet. Like all you have is good food in Italy. How are we going to have poor food for the best athletes in the world in these sports? I'm just baffled by the Olympics right now. It's bad. IOC needs to fucking step in and get shit on lock.
I was explaining this to my friend at work who doesn't like follow hockey, but I was like, yeah, every Olympics ever has been played on a bigger ice surface than the NHL, like just the size of the
Yeah.
rink. And these guys have had such a shit show of a setup that we're going to be playing on a smaller rink than the NHL.
I don't know how you do that.
How is that even possible?
Like, even if you're measuring in centimeters versus inches and feet, I feel like it should be pretty easy to do the conversion there. Whoever the construction people are for this. Yeah, it's just an absolute disaster. I would absolutely hate if the viewing experience in person and on TV is absolute disastrous because there are a lot of new hockey fans right now. Heated Rivalry, biggest show in the world right now on HBO, Crave, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of new people coming into the hockey world right now. We need to impress them with this Olympics because that's how you get eyeballs on sports. People knew Michael Phelps because of the Olympics, not because of like the world championships that he was doing or anything else he was doing. Like Michael Phelps was a dog because of the Olympics. We're going to have a lot of dogs in these Olympics, a lot of NHL dogs. People are going to latch onto either America or Canada or even like Finland or Sweden. Like someone's going to latch onto a player and then go follow them in the NHL, and they're going to become a fan of that NHL team because of that certain player on that Olympic team this winter in February. Fucking figure it out. This is paramount for the NHL for salary cap in the future, like to make sure that these players are getting paid closer to what NBA, NFL, and MLB players are getting paid.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of money involved for the next 5 years just based off of this Olympics, and the IOC's completely fucked it. Milan has completely fucked it, it seems like.
And it's so unfortunate too because Four Nations, like there were a lot of rosters that were banged. Half of Finland's roster was banged up going into it. This year, with the exception of maybe the US, everyone's roster's pretty like full go. Sweden's roster is kind of sick. I was looking at it the other day.
And I'm mad.
Like it's really important. We're gonna have as much talent as we've ever had on the ice. Like this is a huge thing marketing wise for the game of hockey. And I'm praying there's no hiccups along the way.
Put me in charge of the IOC next year or next Olympics. I'll do it. We can record every podcast there too. We'll just move to the French Alps as we're doing construction.
If you're in charge, we're putting them games in Dallas, Texas, brother.
I'm okay with going to the French shop. Seems pretty skick. We can go ski, drink some French wine. I'm in on that this time. And then 2034 we'll be in Dallas, Texas. We'll be at Jerry World. Jerry World, AAC, and then the shit teams will put somewhere in, I don't know. What's the closest to Dallas? We could put them in the Frisco. We could put them in Comerica Center for the entry level ones, like the really bad teams that just barely got into the Olympics, and then can have some qualifiers maybe in like Houston, Austin, San Antonio. We can throw them around there. We can have a little fun with it, and then we'll have everything else in Dallas. It'd be great. All right, we're gonna have Olympic talk on every episode with Dom. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
We can't help it. We just can't help it. We're going to keep calling shit out. Before we get out of here, subscribe to Clean Sheet Advice on YouTube. We got a few more after the last episode. Thank you. After a loss, which was big. This is after a win. So maybe we can get a handful more of subscribers because at 250 subs, we're going to be giving away a Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. Mikko Rantanen bobblehead is not with me. I'm still in Georgia. Next week, I'll be back. We'll be back to normal next week. On Monday's episode, I'll be back in my studio in Dallas, Texas. We'll be back home. We're giving away the Mikko Rantanen bobblehead as soon as we hit 250 subscribers. We'll do the giveaway on the next episode. After that, we will not be partnering with that sponsor that I talked about on this giveaway specifically, but maybe during the Olympics. I would be paying attention mid-February to these episodes of Clean Sheet Advice because we will be doing a year's supply of this product during the Olympics. It's going to be a big deal. So I would tune in, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. To win that Mikko Rantanen bobblehead, we're doing it at 250 subs. Hit that subscribe button on audio platforms like Apple and Spotify as well. Just helps us out. Let us know if we're doing all right. And we got a bunch of comments on the last episode too. So thank you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for tuning in. Stars, tomorrow, as you're listening to this, or maybe today, as you're listening to this, are playing the Sharks. 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, God's time zone in San Jose. So that's a 1 p.m. start over there, kind of going to the West Coast. Obviously, the Sharks have usually played you pretty tough through 2 periods, and then you kind of sneak away in the 3rd period after that. I would assume it's going to be kind of the same thing. I think the boys are feeling a little bit better. Get Jake back in net, get him on the up and up there too. Just go get a win. Just go get a win against the Sharks. Don't let them play around. Don't play around with your food. Make them shark food, and you eat the Sharks and swim in the Shark Tank. Get another win. Call it a day. That's where I'm at with this one.
Yeah, everything you did against Washington, just rinse and repeat. I mean, you locked down the slot, which was giving our goalies issues very well last night. And Rupe, I know he only got an empty netter, but when he's putting 12 shots on goal, like the statistics are in your favor that one of those is going to go in. So I begged and begged the last episode. I was like, man, I would love to see Rupe get going again. And he wanted it too. Like he was pressing for it. But yeah, like continue. San Jose is not really known for being physical, big bodied. So you can kind of push them around early in the game, but we're really comfortable playing San Jose in the games that we played in this year already. So just ride this road trip and then just continue to make our road record look even more impressive than it already is.
Yeah, road record 14-4-5, which is the exact same record as the Colorado Avalanche, who are 11 points up on you, have 6 more wins in the win column as well. 6 less losses, 1 less OT loss. They're at 71 points. Stars are at 60, tied with the Minnesota Wild with the game in hand. Just go get that win and make sure that you're staying ahead of the Wild. I saw something, maybe it was Sean Shapiro from DLS. He mentioned that the standings right now and the playoff structure is a lot like a boxing match where 6 months, 8 months, a year in advance that it's Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. You have one goal. No matter what other fights you're going to go into before that or what other training you're going to do, you already know your matchup basically going into round 1 of the playoffs, and it's the Minnesota Wild. So to be able to get home ice advantage in that would be huge. So you just got to take care of your work here. I'm not too worried about the 6-game losing streak. It looked a little wonky. It looked pretty bad. I was like, all right, if we can just shore these things up, they're going to start winning again. They did that against the Caps. Just keep doing it through this road trip. Get back home. January. Get to the Olympics. If we can get to the Olympics without anyone getting hurt, banged up, or just have the defensive structure completely break down again, or the offense can't score 5-on-5, completely fine with it. And the Sharks team is pretty good. They're in the top wildcard seed right now, 47 points ahead of the Kings. They're not a bad team. They're frisky. Macklin Celebrini is a dog, and I have no problem with him being on Team Canada. Absolutely love that he's on Team Canada too. Um,
Yeah.
Celebrating is incredible. He's incredible. So if you can shut him down, much like you did in the first 2 games against them, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Will Smith is a dog too.
He's
Like,
good.
Will Smith can really play. They just don't have that depth on the Lauren. But now that yeah, I'm trying to think of last year. I felt like when we limped into the playoffs, at least there was like a 5-game stretch. We already knew, all right, we're getting Winnipeg. Like we are preparing for Winnipeg. And that once we get past the Olympics, it'll probably feel that way as well. I think it was Michael Dixon who was on it. I think Liam Bichel, to no surprise of anybody, has recovered well in his rehab. So that would be nice when he does get back and playing for the Stars. Hopefully, I think it's going to happen rather than it's not going to happen. I think Jim Nill's going to be Jim Nill. I think Jim Nill's going to do something big. We're starting to get more and more talk about maybe Calgary dumping, you know, emptying the clip and letting it loose and kind of letting go of assets that they know they just won't be able to keep. And more teams are starting to feel that way. So I think a big trade is coming for Dallas, and it would be awesome. It sucks having Jamie and Tyler not with this roster at the moment, but you know the boys are holding it down. Those Sam Steels, those Ritzkovians, those Blackwells, they're doing their thing. And once we get the enforcements back, you're going to see a Dallas Stars team that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, there was a name that I sent you. I don't know how many hockey fans like this guy. He's going to be UFA. That name, the person not saying anything, but the hockey player, put him on the top line, left wing, Mikko Rantanen, Wyatt Johnston. That is 100,000 points. That is so many goals, so many assists. Like, man, I would love for that trade to happen. They kind of have the money for it. They'd have to include an NHL player in that one just to offload a little bit more salary, but
Yeah.
that would be really fun. Yeah, like you said, I think Jim Nill's going to make the right trade. Like last year, we saw the Granny CC trade. They fit in the locker room. They fit the play style. They fit what they needed. And then obviously you add Mikko Rantanen at the end of it, and that was kind of the shock one. I think we're going to see more of a Granny CC trade. I don't know if we're going to take the big swing like Mikko. It definitely won't be a big swing like Mikko with the contract extension. It would be a UFA if you did take the big swing, but I would expect that it's going to be like the Calgarys and the lowly teams in the standings right now that might have given up, might hand some things off. I am shocked that Winnipeg is at the bottom of the standings. Shocked.
Me too.
It's so bad.
Like Kyle Connor, man.
I know Vancouver might be selling some pieces off. They've already sold Quinn Hughes. So it's going to be an interesting trade deadline, but this team's good enough to win right now. And then if you add some pieces, it's going to be a little bit easier. It's going to be a little bit more of a load lifted off of the Mikko Rantanen, Wyatt Johnson, Robo, Rupe, all those guys. Jamie Benn should be back. I think he's supposed to be traveling either this game or the next game. He'll be back with the team after that little bang on the ice without a visor. It's the one downside of not wearing a visor. You're going to get hit with pucks and potentially the ice. So hope Jamie's recovering well. Heard he was doing well. Getting back on the road trip will be just fine. Trade deadline is going to be just around the corner. Before we know it, we're going to get Liam Bichel back, which is like a trade deadline acquisition right after the Olympics. And then you're going to have the trade deadline. Shit can go fast. It can go really fast.
Like we'll get to a point where like we'll have to probably healthy scratch like a Ritzkovian just because somebody else is playing so well and our team is so deep. Like that's going to be the reality of this Stars team when we get to closer and closer to the playoffs.
It's going to be a fun season. The Olympics are going to be fun regardless of how much shit we're going to talk about them. Can't wait for the Olympics. I'm excited. I think I'm going to keep my allegiances. I think I'm going to stay with Otter. I'm just going to rock the Otter jersey. I'm going to get a USA little Miracle on Ice throwback jersey. I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to have to do it. I think that's what I'm going to roll with. I know with your flag in the background, I don't know if you're going to be doing the same thing, but.
Well, see, I'm used to this because like in soccer, like growing up, Mexico was my team, but I never hated the United States. Like I wanted them to advance. It just never ended up happening. But anytime the U.S. is on, like I'm passionately like wanting them to do well. So I'm Finland is my Mexico for hockey because obviously Mexico. I think we have Evan Rodriguez. Like but like the U.S. will still like. I still love their chances because they have the goaltending to probably give Canada, like the worst thing that can happen is the US not getting a medal,
and not
um,
scoring goals.
and yeah, and that's very possible with how deep these other rosters are, like, the Czech
Yeah, it's
roster
not
is
bad.
nice too. Like, it's gonna be fun, but I still would love Otter to be Otter on the world stage and show people why we have one of the best goalies
Be
in
sick.
Dallas,
I'm
Texas.
excited about it. I'm excited about the Stars game tomorrow. Be back in Texas tomorrow night. I'm excited. Be back home. Be back with the boys in a week. After that, it's going to be fun. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for viewing on our YouTube at Clean Sheet of Ice, or listening to us on Apple, or watching us on Spotify. We can stream us there with the video as well. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to be back on Monday next week with a new episode of Clean Sheet of Ice. And we're going to have 2 happy hours next week to end the road trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get into it with Dom and Savannah and get back to regularly scheduled programming. It's going to be a lot of fun. Clean Sheet of Ice. We're back on the up and up. It's the new year. Olympics are next month. Trade deadline after that. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a fun few months for Clean Sheet of Ice heading into the playoffs. And we can't wait to get into it with you. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll be back next week with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast.